Warning. This program may contain foul language and awful arithmetic. It should not be viewed by anyone who is triggered by first start at 18 saw 90 with the opponent on the finish, or by anyone learning how to mentally calculate 11 plus 8 plus 26. City League Darts reminds you to please add and subtract responsibly. All right, folks, another matchup here for week 6. Our third bout is going to see a fight here between our current number 4 and 5. We've got Rattlesnake Jesse Hopper going up against Toaster Dave Weyland. You can see them both tied with 6 points. The only difference between them is just that one leg differential. However, something worth pointing out is that Jesse is 1 match up on Toaster, having played 5 to Toaster's 4. But either way, this match could have pretty severe playoff implications depending on how the rest of the season shakes out. Here we see the head-to-head matchups here. So a little bit of an advantage with the averages there from Rattlesnake, though almost similar, almost comparable with the tons, despite being a match back from Toaster. So again, as we've seen with a number of these matches so far, a tale of a battle between scoring and finishing, and we'll see what that narrative becomes tonight. The players have already corked. They should be ready to go. Guys, if you're good, shoot it well. Game on. We're underway. The battle of red and white. By far, I think the most kind of monochromatic, solid dartboard backings that I've ever seen on a cast before. Kenny Johnson in the chat. Big Man Bearded in the chat. Kenny saying, oh, here we go. This should be a good one. Bearded going for Toaster, saying, come on, Toaster. A couple of Toaster fans here in the chat, though. Everyone, I'm sure, rooting for some good darts here tonight.
42.
And I think it's a good bet that we will get those good darts.
98.
It might not come in leg one. A bunch of these matches the last couple of weeks have seen some slow starts. But over time, these folks get it going. Devin Mulville joining us in the chat saying, let's go Toaster. Kenny saying Fodal all the way. So showing some love for his FO Dart League brethren here on this lovely Thursday night as things start to cool down in Central Texas. High is supposed to be like 75 tomorrow. Oh, I can't wait. Unfortunately, we can't open our windows because
60.
all the entry points to our house leaks like sieves. Like our screens are all buckled out and the window frames themselves aren't even like totally secure or airtight or even have like kind of gaskets on them. Just none of that. Just like metal on metal and buckled out screen frame. So we can't even have the window screens open anymore because the flies will just get in. Been dealing with that for like a week. Finally figured out that's what it was. So no more open windows for fresh air. But that's the price we pay to live in the thick of it all. Jesse, unfortunately, going to need a trouble here to get into checkout range. Does not find it there. Needed just 320s to get to the big fish. But that first start found the single 5. Well, Toast will get there. He wanted to leave himself 140 or better Unfortunately, found that 7 with his third. So Kenny asking how does playoff affects this year match? I think you mean the opposite. How does this match affect playoffs? Um, just between the two of these players and kind of that whole grouping, kind of in that center of the standings of the table. It's gonna be tight to get into that 4 spot. I think there's gonna be a lot of contention around that kind of 3, 4, 5, 6 area, and I think these two could be some of the ones jostling for that. So any legs against the other one here are going to be big, and then certainly any points that either one of these guys can take away from the other, could be big. As it's like for example, Toaster taking all 2 points here. If it comes down to Dave and Jesse kind of vying for a playoff spot, then in that race itself, then this match would be essentially a +4 for Dave, kind of having earned 2 for him, and then preventing Jesse from having earned 2 himself. So that's what I mean when I talk about these kind of playoff implications with these matches. Especially with these leg diffs, as tight as they are, at least between these two. So good setup there, Jesse. Toaster going
30.
high inside and inside there, unable to find the double 20 or the double 10. Rattlesnake now trying to slither his way into an opening hold. Double 7 now is the ask, and double 7 is the answer for a nice opening hold there. And it'll be Toaster with the darts here.
100.
Wow, fascinating that leg. Stats in Toaster's favor. The result, not.
83.
30.
43.
41.
Strong opening visit here that's been followed up by 2 rather lackluster ones. 100, then a 30 and a 41 from Toaster, who will need to start doing a little bit more consistent shooting than that, I think,
41.
if he's going to give Jesse a run here. Of course, we do expect Toaster to throw better than that. That's more like it. Pressure certainly applied to Jesse here. Needs to find at least one big trouble. I believe he has.
81.
I was pausing. I wasn't sure if he was going to say 121 there. Just the one big trouble.
13.
Well, Jesse now in position to potentially take the darts away from Toaster and crack open a very early break in this race to 7 legs. Best of 12 here, so these players can draw at 6 apiece, which would earn them each 1 ranking point for their efforts. However,
45.
a player can reach 7 legs and win the match outright and earn both ranking points for the match. Big fish here for Jesse. Doesn't have to take it, but given the chance, he will. But he will not be given the chance.
3.
Yikes. Well, at least he didn't put himself on a bogey, is what we can say from that visit.
49.
Well, Jesse did well to get out ahead there and then just gave that throw right back. 167, which he will need to attempt if given the chance, but once again, not given
98.
the chance. Great third dart there to put pressure on this 138.
60.
So 69 here for Jesse. I fancy the treble 15. He does not. It's going to be tops. A little bit high for the break of throw. So Toaster now with a very real chance. 20 for tops. Oh, finds the single 5 instead. And then can't round it out with the single 15. A continually depressured double 20 here for Rattlesnake. To complete the break, or just to break, not complete the break, just a straight up break. He just held so far.
Yes, third dart.
There he goes, finding that double 10. Eventually. So not quite clinical with the doubling yet, Jesse, leaving chances on the board. But being afforded the opportunity to come back around for him. And taking those opportunities, taking those chances.
59.
97.
60.
Well, the shooting has been a bit pedestrian so far.
45.
But like I said earlier, that's not entirely unexpected. We have seen probably more matches than not get off to slow starts and take a few legs for players to find a rhythm and sort of settle into the groove of the match. So we'll see if that rings true tonight.
100.
Good result. I wouldn't have minded a switch down to 19s there on that third one at that point. But if you're going to hit that ton, then what can I say?
$58.
Well, definitely don't like the move down there. Even if that dart's blocking the 20, I feel like there's an obligation to try to set up
45.
300. Or even go 1925. If you don't make the treble on the first 19.
59.
But at those sorts of ranges, I could be completely off base
44.
with these suggestions. However, that I know was very good dart math there from Toaster, rounding out that 4 to leave himself on a big fish. Good thinking, good hashtag darts math. Just a big number here for Jesse.
83.
Oh, well, 3 is big enough, fortunately for him. Oh, the big fish was on for a dart.
98.
Well, good job to leave himself with 72 after 6 visits, Toaster. But now it's Jesse for a big ask. It's a bit too big.
$60.
It's 16s, not 12s. One more of them would have left tops. However, it's 14 to leave 42.
40.
So it turns that into 32. A hard-fought 40 points there. Leaves the door slightly open for Jesse, who hasn't quite closed it on himself. Not this visit, at least. 90 left. Well, leaves himself with 36, so that's a fantastic third dart from Jesse. Pressure is on
Second dart.
And the pressure is handled.
Thank you.
Just by the hair of his chinny chin chin, Toaster not busting on that second dart. But in there nonetheless to get him on the board. Claim a break back from Jesse and hopefully complete it here. That's what he's surely thinking to himself. And don't call him Shirley. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your server. That was a bad joke, made even worse by a totally fumbled delivery.
30.
One of these days. One of these days, I'll get a proper thespian in the booth. And you'll wonder why you ever
83.
listen to me. Great darts from Jesse there. Super well placed.
50.
Wow, even those three were really well placed from Toaster as well. Just a couple of triple 15s on the wrong side of that 20 wire. Oh, Jesse just finding a whole bunch of ones, missing onto the right side of that board a whole bunch. We saw that
24.
visit of 3 earlier from 170. Critical visit there as Jesse was starting to tease taking the darts away from Toaster here in this leg. Dave throws in that ton.
57.
Still going to need more than just one treble, though, here to get into range from 276. So not this time.
30.
Jesse could do it with a ton 40. Not with the sort of visit that starts at the bottom of the board.
40.
Oh, we got to flash it there. 19s on 307. No, you can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. You got to be math aware.
5.
Can't be doing that from 307. Rattlesnake, Jesse Hopper. I said he was my new favorite player the other week. When we confirmed that on 134, he does in fact go 54, 40, 40. It might have been a short-lived reign, though.
41.
Showing an alarming lack of math awareness there. Be Math Aware offers free confidential help for anyone who is worried about their or someone else's dart math.
41.
City League Darts implores you to be math aware. Wow. Well, finds the 51 eventually to leave 24. He'll probably have a look at it. Would have liked to have seen Toaster go 25-50 there. 54 now for double 16 is not going to go. 68 remaining. Back to the treble 20.
96.
Oh, no. Again, I'll flash that once more. 68 remaining. Wow, Toaster up there. Finds it. Back in this match like it never happened. Even back up. Slow start. Accelerating the pace. Let's see what these numbers look like.
58.
Wow. What a far cry from the first couple of legs here.
45.
And as we did see in the early stats, Toaster with the season advantage in the power scoring. That continues to reign true here. But he's also putting in some of the doubles where Jesse is not.
45.
And that is the, maybe not difference, but lack of difference
98.
in this match so far. Kenny in the chat saying, Jesse with no tons yet. Nope. I'm just as surprised as you are, believe me. Right? So when you hear a stat like that, it makes you want to go back and wonder, is there a bug in the software? Did I miss something here? But nope, there are in fact no visits of 3 digits
81.
on the right side of this scoring history. Now Toaster has come out and taken the darts away from Jesse here in this 5th leg. But Jesse keen to grab him right back.
121.
121 will do it slightly, but just one treble here from Toaster would give him the advantage right back. Not that treble, though.
27.
Well, there's Jesse's first 3-figure visit. See, we'll see it come up. There it is. It works. It's got to be a ton here.
60.
All right, Toaster with a chance to get into range first.
60.
Says no. Says, here, go ahead, Rattlesnake. Or rattle, 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 rattle. You take it. That's the sound a rattlesnake makes.
26.
Would have liked 18 on that third dart. Would I have? I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing the math right. It's too late. I'm not going to try to do that sort of math. Never mind. Maybe I would have preferred 18s. Maybe I wouldn't have. You'll never know. Oh, one more of those would have left 36 for Jesse. Great on it. Kenny's saying, no, Jesse likes 150 that way. No, it wasn't. So he set up the 150 with like a miss until like a low single. What I was getting at was setting up 135 instead of 136 or 134 with the third on that previous visit. As it is, treble 13 is probably the target to leave double 12. It was. Now it's 19 for tops. Right in the heart. Double 20 is in there. Sticks it. Just finds the correct side of that bottom double wire there. Jesse stops the rot. Reclaims the hole to throw. And now we are just straight up on throw.
60.
Jesse held and then broke Toaster's throw. And then broke Toaster's throw. Toaster broke Jesse's throw and then held. And now Jesse just held in leg 5. And it is
81.
Dave Weyland here now. Under pressure once again.
41.
But he's had that pressure every time he's had the darts. So why would this leg be any different? And Kenny, so back to that 150. Yeah, we've definitely seen Jesse set that up that way. I think we've seen him take it that way too. I know we've seen him get 2 into it. I don't know if maybe he's missed the double 18. But yeah, big fan of 619s on 150.
45.
Yeah, Kenny's saying, yeah, he checked it out against DJ Mike Hughes. And that really, I said it last night in the chat, DJ Mike Hughes has been throwing good darts. He has just been going up against railroading performances from his opponents. You know, exhibit whatever. Rattlesnake taking out a 150 on him. Not looking like it's going to be a hole to throw here for Dave.
60.
85.
So the 138 here that Jesse can't afford to just lay up here with Dave still 5 back from checkout range.
58.
Leaving on a nice solid 80 when he comes back to the board. How much pressure? Ooh, I think it's just a single 15 to leave tops to put a lot of pressure on that 80.
135.
Wow. The timing from these players has been pretty crazy. Putting in these trebles, multiple treble visits, just when they need it most. I think that's 60 to leave double 10. It's a bit outside, but it could be a good marker.
60.
Oh, but it's not. Wow, Toaster for the come from behind hold, and he takes it. A 23 darter under tremendous pressure. It makes it look easy. I don't know if he actually made it look easy. I can't see him. We don't have player cameras here, but just imagine it. He made it look easy.
100.
Wow, it's a great hold there from Dave.
95.
The brave little Toaster. Putting in the work, responding when he needs to. Rattlesnake opening with the ton. Toaster responding with a 95.
41.
We're just halfway through here. We're just heating up. It's great.
60.
As my dog starts barking in the background, there's probably some crazy neighbor who's just, trying to walk down our street. And oh boy, it's our dog is not a fan of that. Our dog is a fan of a little ton 40 there from 360 for Jesse.
41.
320s will do it quite nicely. Quite nicely indeed. You can do them in the first dart. That'll work.
140.
Wow. Back-to-back ton 40s Jesse here.
140.
I think that's the sound of his rattle. Meanwhile, we have a bad math awareness there. First start at single 18 there would have been a 138, would have left Toaster on a finish. As it is, he is not. Double 10 now for Jesse. Oh, just in that upstairs corner, missing the 15 darter.
45.
I suspect he's going straight at it here. Double 5.
First dart.
Wow. Beautiful 16 dart leg. Ton 41. Ton 40. Ton 40. 70. Missing a dart at double. And then tidying it up first dart on the next visit with the 10.
121.
Beautiful leg there. Surprisingly, still just one combination finish so far this match. That is Jesse's 63 in leg 5, I believe it was.
41.
But as it was, just a hold a throw.
60.
And in this best of 12 format, that advantage of having the darts doesn't really mean quite as much as the last leg decider sees their opponent
43.
with the darts, as the last leg decider would be
41.
an even number game.
78.
So here, I do suspect we are going to push this to a last leg decider. I just think it's a matter of
59.
who will be throwing for the victory and who will be throwing just to try to share the point.
$81.
53.
Well, in the range there, Toaster. I don't know if that was intentional or inadvertent. Either way, in a decent enough spot here on his throw, but that spot might not be looking so decent anymore.
140.
It's not looking decent at all. It's looking rather indecent, at least from my vantage point. Another ton 40 for Jesse.
91.
I'm sorry, what was that about the low scoring and the lack of ton visits from Jesse? I feel like he's put in like 6 ton 40s in the 5 minutes since I last said that. 60 remaining. He just wants to set it up with a 20. Wow, great dart. Great dart right in that high, fat part of that single 20. Staying well away from the treble 20, well away from the flight of the dart in the 1 that could have potentially deflected it down. It's tops here for Toaster, though.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Pete, 39. Oh,
Pulling it like absolute madness. Whoa, he will be so mad. I mean, he is so mad at that. Just, you hate to even call it an attempt at double 20, as it is double 19 now here for Rattlesnake.
2.
Low on that funky, awkward double 19. Seeing Congra on the chart in the chat. Mix up darts and chat. Could be a marker there. It is a marker there. Wow, great stuff from Toaster. Let me try that again. Seeing Congra in the chat. Saying sup Silly Darts. Sup Congra. Good to see you as always. Hope you've gotten some sleep. Wow, Toaster, just when you think a little bit more of a gap might be forming, he pulls through in the clutch, keeps this game on throw.
41.
Ben Weyland in the chat saying nice out, Toaster. It was indeed.
$24.
125.
85.
Well, Jesse keeping the pressure on here with his throw, and Toaster unfortunate not to put a little bit more gap in between the two of them. He had an opportunity there to make a more emphatic play for the advantage this leg
40.
to get a break of throw and go up for the first time in the match.
180.
Yes, it is in there. Great third dart, splitting the two just above him. Toaster setting himself up on 110 after 4 visits. 41 ton 25, 45 ton 80.
42.
How about a 110? Could still be on. Treble 18, I think, is a bit low. It was low. Left 72. He'll have 65. If I know Toaster, I think he's going 25 first start when he comes back. We'll see if I know Toaster. I think it's 169 remaining.
81.
It was.
Second dart.
Wow. Toaster, clinical 25 tops. Outrageous. And has an advantage here for the first time in the match.
60.
Oh, what that's like I love that 65 finish. It is like one of my favorite finishes, like my favorite 1-2 finish in darts probably. It's like I like 25-40 more than I like 60-32 for a 92. Even 60 tops, I don't think I like as much as 25-40. I just love it. It's beautiful. Everyone in the chat loving that ton 80. Everyone in the chat loving that 65.
27.
We got Ben Weyland, Kenny Johnson, Nicholas Nixon, Congraw. Nice toaster, ton 80. Yeah, boom. Damn toaster, get this point, boy. And putting out darts to hold this throw here, too.
100.
And Jesse has not seen pressure quite like this that often so far this season. Congraw saying treble 16, double 8 for 64 is a nice checkout, too. I do love a good anything that starts on the treble 16. So the 104, the 64, 72, I'm a huge fan of.
100.
Yeah, any of those treble 16 starters. But if you're listening in the chat and you can't beat Congraw, then you don't go 16s on 80 because you're not Mervyn King and you're not good at darts and you don't do it. Especially you, Blade Mouse, if you're listening to this. You might think I was joking when I threatened to cut you if you pulled that again. I was not joking. I will literally cut you
43.
if you're an amateur dart player and you go 16s first start on 80 with your opponent on a finish.
55.
Even Congraw saying 16s on 80 is ew. So do you hate when Mervyn King does it? Or does he get a pass because, you know, those players are like good enough for it?
87.
Treble 19 for Bullseye. Or just go ahead and throw it away there, Toaster. Yikes. I think it's a ton remaining here. Now it's 99 remaining.
38.
Congraw saying yes, he hates it when Merv goes 16s on 80 because he's good enough to know better. I love that reasoning for it. I'll buy that.
26.
Chance here for Jesse for a critical break back to take the darts with the game tied at 5-5. Double 20. Oh!
40.
You can hear the grumble, the frustration on that right side of the board. It's 20. Oh, 12 for tops. Wow, stuck it in there again. Toaster just turning up the finishing here. Guaranteeing himself at least 1 point for the effort. Both these players over 60 now. The scoring is coming together. The finishing is there. They're not bouncing around the doubles here. They're not flubbing around, you know, from 75, scoring 18 in a turn and not even getting a shot at a double. Oh, this game is so on. I love it. I am here for it.
58.
Yeah, so Kenny is very excited to start throwing 16s on 80 whenever I'm in the broadcast booth. I'm sure his opponents will love it. I don't know what the kind of rhyme or reason is to Jesse's targeting the bottom of the board like above 300 here. I see him do it sporadically, which is surprising because in this match he's just been pounding so many treble 20s, so many of these ton 40s. Like what are these? What was this? Yeah, right. Like 3 high tons, 4 low tons, and I think a bunch of those low tons
100.
are like ton 20 sums, ton 30 sums. Not just straight up 520s. So it's surprising to see him going downstairs like that. Congress saying sub 300 plus, you do want to start on 309. Yep, for sure.
118.
Yep, totally get that. Is that what was happening there? Was that what he was on? It might have been. I don't know.
100.
Wow. Toaster down on 48 after 5 turns. Poised to take up both points for this match. Oh, wow. It's 5 for tops here for Jesse. Or 15 for tops, excuse me. Finding the bullseye with his first start. He wanted 25 tops. I would have loved it so much. The 15 is in. Tops to stay alive. Oh, too much power. Too much power. Double 16 for the match. Could be a marker. He's used it like that before. Oh, wow. And just completely dumped that third dart off the board. I think that smacked something below the 19 number or something. Again, way high on the double 20. Worked it down too far. Double 10 now.
Second dart.
Oh, no. Didn't work it down too far. Did stick it in there. Jesse just staying alive.
Shoe out.
So it is the last leg decider. And it is up to the toaster to take 2. Oh, or to split it. And what a strong opening. And with the advantage, having the throw here in this last leg, even though Jesse won the cork in this best of 12 format, that does not give you the advantage in the last leg. And what a last leg this could turn out to be.
25.
No, never mind. Something to the mean. So let's see how we're looking. Wow. So I think by a pretty far margin, the highest standard we've seen for an entire match from both sides.
96.
And the standard is not letting up. And this has had everything. Big combination finishing. High scoring. We had the maximum.
25.
Bunch of back and forth, just call and responses. Ton visit. Clutch turn after clutch turn. So again, in this position, I would have liked to have gone down to 19s to score 42. Leave yourself on 240, a much cleaner
45.
path to leave yourself on some checkout friendlier numbers than you can get to from 239.
$58.
Oh boy. Ooh, 62.
Salvage that turn with a third dart toaster. Wow. Applying that pressure. 84 when he returns for the point.
44.
And he'll probably have 6 at this if he needs them. The way this match has been going, though, he very well might not. 14 for the bullseye. Was that treble 14 for double 6? No, it was 14 for the bullseye. Found the 25. So he'll be on 25 if Toaster does not take out this miraculous 160 for the win, which he will not.
60.
No gimme here for Jesse, though, who has to burn the dart at least one. Getting onto an even number. Will it be 9 or 1?
Wow.
It's outside. Make that burn 2. Make that burn 3. This is what I'm talking about. This is why the 25 is no gimme.
17.
Oh, just having to lay up, taking all 3 darts to get himself on even. And Dave just returns the favor right back, bogeying himself with the first dart, leaving himself on 99 with 2 darts in hand. I don't know what sort of home games y'all play at home. You can't do that here in the Quarantine Premier League. You can also not take out 8 with a single 13. Tops now for the match. Yes! There, he hits it, gets through the door. Wow! The chances were there for Jesse, who was looking good at the beginning. Wow. In the end, just a few too many chances not taken. Both players were pretty forgiving really throughout the match. And in the end, it was Toaster getting through when he needed it most. Again, we see that power scoring as we've just come to expect through 12 legs, 10 low tons, 3 high tons, and a maximum for Toaster with at least 1, if not 2 more maximum sweats. And just right there with him on the right side from Rattlesnake, the 6 low tons, the 3 high tons. I don't know if there were a ton 80 sweat, but either way, it's absolutely ridiculous performance for both these guys. So let's see where that puts everyone. So Toaster now and Jesse really just swapping places there. But a big difference there in the points now. So no longer tied at 6 with the leg differential kind of being the tiebreaker. Now Toaster with a nice lead out of the rest of the pack there in that bottom half of the table, with those 8 points here, and again just through 5 matches. So when we look at some of these other players, we see in that number 2 spot, Jerry Melendez, the West Texas Marauder. He's played 6 matches. We see that number 3 spot, Sweet Action, Mike Gilligan. He's played 6 matches. So Toaster there and Shenandoah Slinger, Kenny Johnson are the 2 up there in that top part who are still doing well with that points fight, but are still down a match. So that'll be something to look forward to as some of these other players start to encounter their bye weeks, slip a week with kind of earning points, and then we'll see some more of that stuff shake out. As always, thank you all for tuning in, catching us in the chat, and we're excited to catch you all next time here on the Quarantine Premier League. Have a great night.